Sanford Road Trail Run here in Park City as the sun is going down. There's not much snow for skiing, but I want to give you my first impressions of the Nike React Infinity Run Flyknit. It's a shoe from Nike that'll release January 16th, 2020, and it fits in the light stability category. It's also a shoe with a very pronounced rocker, or a more pronounced rocker than we're used to from Nike. And I sure felt that on my run today. It really moves along in a rocker kind of nice, smooth fashion at all the paces I went. It's not a shoe really designed for tempo or intervals, but it's for those daily base miles you may do. You can see the stability is implemented by a flaring of the midsole at the front and at the heel, and I really noticed a very stable ride from the shoe as I ran about 7.5 up here at altitude. Now, it also has a very narrow waist here, so you see the pronounced wider base, quite unusual for Nike, but it reminds maybe a bit more of a Hoka. But then the narrow waist. Often in a stability shoe, you have a wider forefoot, and sometimes that can make the shoe kind of hard to transition. Well, here I found them very easy to transition for such a wide heel because of that, I think, that waist. And also up front here, we have that anatomical shape that's very much reminiscent of the Next Percent from Nike. So there's that wide kind of stable platform for toe off. Now, as a light stability shoe, there is a clip here. And pressing on it, it's not a totally rigid plastic. I must say, I felt there was something there. I felt it sort of up in here, but I didn't at all feel like there was a hard rail that I've sometimes felt, for example, in the Ravenna 10 from Brooks. So it's a softer kind of rail, and it's the same length on both sides of the shoe, which is kind of interesting. So yes, I did feel that there was support, but I usually run neutral shoes. I didn't find it in any way difficult to deal with or obtrusive. So neutral runners should also be able to run in the shoe. Now, it has a new kind of Flyknit upper here. I've heard it described as lofted. It's considerably softer and easier on the foot than the Epic React or the Odyssey React, which was also a stability shoe last year that we have on the channel. The toe box is actually quite wide. This is a much broader fit, if you will, in a Flyknit than I've ever experienced. You can see the tongue is integral, fits very smoothly. It doesn't overly snug over the foot. It was very easy to lace up. I laced it once and off I went right out of the box. You can see there's a bit of padding around the collars. Not much, but I felt, actually there's almost no padding, but it fit very smoothly and nicely. I guess I just didn't even miss that padding. As far as the look, it has kind of a cartoonish almost look to the Nike swoosh. It's kind of cool. So it's a $160 shoe. I don't have the drop or the stack height, but clearly it's a more maximally cushioned shoe. Probably the most maximally cushioned overall shoe from Nike. The Vomero has quite a bit of stack at the heel, but definitely a thinner forefoot. So it's an exciting new offering from Nike. They've done a bunch of research around the shoe. They took 226 runners in a study at a university in British Columbia and ran them for 12 weeks, comparing to the Nike Structure 22. And they noted in the study, I assume it was a Nike-funded study, that there was a 52% lower injury rate in this shoe compared to the Structure. And the runners reported less pain in their knees and feet. Now, I can understand that the knee part for sure, because other companies have also made claims that using a rail instead of a hard medial post as often in a support shoe. Kind of takes the pronation story off the bottom, if you will, and takes it to stabilizing the knee. So I'm going to be running quite a bit more in this shoe. I'd call it a really good daily trainer for somebody who wants a bit more support but doesn't want a posted kind of shoe. In terms of weight, my pair of US 8.5 came in at 9.45 ounces or 268 grams. So a pair of size 9 should come in about 9.7 ounces or 275 grams. That's a bit heavier than the Odyssey React, which came in at a mere 8 ounces, but that was a very, very snug shoe and quite a bit firmer, I felt. This is a much more easygoing, comfortable kind of daily training shoe. We'll have a full written review on Road Trail Run coming soon of the Nike React Infinity Run Flyknit, a January release. Thank you very much for watching.